Good afternoon, and welcome to the Investiture ceremony for the Everett and Bernetta DuBois Endowed Professorship in Business Finance and Investments. On behalf of the College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences, I am so pleased to welcome you today to celebrate a truly generous gift and a remarkable and gifted faculty member. The College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences prides itself on its role in partnering with business and industry to advance knowledge and drive economic development. Equally important is our commitment to preparing today's students to be tomorrow's leaders. Through the generosity of Everett and Bernetta in creating the college's first endowed professorship, we will be able to significantly advance both of these goals. All endowed professorships are unique and highly valuable. Nevertheless, today's investiture is particularly special as it celebrates a gift that reflects the warm-hearted and generous spirit of Everett and Bernie, as well as the challenges we have all faced over the past 18 months. Everett and Bernie's generous gift was made in 2020, but the global pandemic prevented us from publicly celebrating it. In addition to their gift to the university, Bernie has gifted an original painting as her gift to Gerald and his family. Although this ceremony has been delayed, our celebration today reflects the resilience and faith that Everett and Bernie have demonstrated throughout their lives together, as well as the commitment of SDSU to our students, faculty, and community. I would like to recognize several important people who are present for today's ceremony. Dr. Barry Dunn, President of South Dakota State University. Dennis Hedge, Provost. And Michaela Willis, Vice President of Student Affairs. As well as Marianne Krogh, Dean of the College of Nursing, John Killefer, Dean of the College of Agricultural, Food, and Environmental Sciences, Bruce Berdanier, Dean of the J. Lohr College of Engineering, Dr. Zhiguang Gerald Wang, his wife Lee, and their son Max, and other endowed position holders in attendance. Now I would like to invite President Dunn to the podium to discuss the important role endowed positions play in moving South Dakota State University forward to the next stage in its remarkable history. President Dunn.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this afternoon and have this great celebration with you. So always on behalf of the students and the faculty and the staff of our university, welcome to this celebration. Our strategic plan, Imagine 2023, provides a clear pathway to achieve our vision as a premier land-grant university. One of the best ways to be premier is to have endowed positions that allow us to recruit and to retain top talent in our academic programs. I know firsthand how the status and resources behind an endowed position can affect the decision to accept or to be retained into a position. I was first recruited into the Texas A&M system and then back to South Dakota as a result of endowed positions. Those endowments provided me credibility with national peers and within the universities and the resources to be successful. Endowed positions offer a multitude of benefits to South Dakota State. They are essential for recruiting and retaining, as I said, the highest quality faculty. To be a premier university, we need to have the best minds, the most creative researchers, and the most engaged teachers. When we have talented faculty, we will attract, retain, and graduate the brightest and best students. For our students, endowed faculty and chairs allow them to be involved with the most talented scholars. For example, when I was at Texas A&M Kingsville, the prestige associated with working with an endowed professor, even me, attracted top caliber students from around the nation. It provided them with unique high-level experiences impacting their future careers made available by the extra resources provided to me by the endowment. At the time of my investiture as the South Dakota Corn Endowed Dean for the College of Agriculture and Biological Sciences in 2009, there were commitments for only 5 other endowed positions. We currently have commitments in place for 40. SDSU has the bold ambition to attain 50 endowed positions. That goal is one of the pillars of our next comprehensive campaign. We will be announcing details of that campaign on October 21st. As the investments in buildings and facilities physically transformed our campus in the last comprehensive campaign, this next one will transform the university through the investment in people. These endowed positions are a prominent, important way of doing that. The College of Arts, Humanities, and Social Sciences has commitments in place for 7 of these incredible positions. It is the 3rd in the Ness School of Management and Economics, and I'll just tell you, stand by. While they cannot be here in person, I know that Everett and Bernie DuBois are listening. Thank you for your generosity and confidence in us to create an endowed professor in business, finance, and investments. It is one of the highest academic awards we can bestow on a faculty member. Therefore, it is both an honor to be named a holder, and it serves as a lasting tribute to the donor. So please join me in congratulating Dr. Gerald Wang in this prestigious position. Thank you so much, and I'll turn it back to Dean Sargent.
Dr. Gerald Wang joined the Ness School in 2009, having completed his PhD in finance at Florida International University. Dr. Wang quickly established a reputation as a talented scholar and a dedicated teacher. Through his research, Dr. Wang has elevated the reputation of South Dakota State University and, in particular, the Ness School of Management and Economics. His work in risk and futures markets has appeared in preeminent journals and reflects the rigor and significance of the research conducted by Dr. Wang and his colleagues in the Ness School. Dr. Wang's impact on students derives both from his work in the classroom, particularly in his investments class and his work with the Student Managed Investment Fund. And under his leadership, the Student Managed Investment Fund won the Quinnipiac International Competition in New York in 2017, much to the consternation of elite universities who wondered who these upstarts were from South Dakota. In addition, he advises the approximately 50 students who participate in the investment club. Those students are drawn from majors across all of SDSU's colleges, demonstrating the Ness School's commitment to interprofessional collaboration. I would now like to invite Dr. Wang to the podium to receive his medallion. In addition, we will be marking the occasion and the relationship that has developed between Gerald, Everett, and Bernie with a special gift, one of Bernie's original paintings.
Thank you, President Dang and Dean Sargent. I'm truly humbled and honored to receive Everett and Bernetta DuBois Professor in Business Finance and Investments. It's really a recognition of our students, really the shared visions and the dedications by our students and my colleagues at Ness School of Management and Economics. it really solidifies my own belief of enriching students' experience inside and outside of classroom. And as Dean Sargent just mentioned, I joined the then Department of Economics in 2009. It really took 6 years for us to complete the offerings of business finance, investments, and student managed investment fund. It really takes a long time, and it's myself really truly enjoyed the experience working with the students, and especially the Smith, as mentioned, won the first national prizes in the existence, or really the second year of its existence. And shout out to the Smith students and also the donors to this fund, and really the vision and the support enabled all this. I also would like to thank my friends in the industry, Sarah Madison at First National Bank, and also Annie Sipley at South Dakota Investment Council, which is our pension manager as well. And they generously shared their industry knowledge with me and my students. And that really also inspired me to become a CFA chartered holder. And furthermore, in the past year, we started to, and will also continue to provide scholarship to current students who are going to take the CFA exam, and something that I'm truly excited to see going forward. And I co-founded the investment club in 2011, and with really business students business finance students in my class. Really, the investment club now has long become really a hub of finance students, and also a pipeline for the Student Managed Investment Fund, and also First Dakota National Bank e-trading lab assistance. We have run the investment club competition, SDSU, we call it SDSU investment competition, for 10 years already, and 18 times in total. The club has really produced generations of outstanding student leaders. Some of them are in the audience. We have Justin Price, we have Charlie Stephenson, and Julie Eggert, and Matthias Kuners, Orman Fixon, and Cordell Feldhaus, and Jacob Weed is also a very active participant in the competition. And I also would like to thank them for their dedications, efforts, and the leadership, and also the fond memories that we have on the trips to New York and Chicago, and thanks to the NET School for supporting all the efforts. And going forward, the endowment will help support the club competitions and also future club activities, especially the field trips. Sometimes we can only dream of, but probably have to give up and due to financial constraints. In terms of research, I have enjoyed some success in empirical research in financial and commodity markets, especially related to volatilities. And going forward, I envision myself expanding into the areas of machine learning, big data, and fintech. In the past year, I have used the fund to purchase market data and to for my own research and also graduate thesis, and also co-found a well-known scholar to visit NET School. Also, I look forward to days, normal days like now, to go to conferences and present my research and also learn from my peers in the academia. Finally, I would like to thank faculty and staff, current and retired and past faculty and staff at the NET School of Management and Economics, and for creating such a warm and welcoming community. And thanks to my wife, Lee, for tolerating the husband who, she complains, so lazy at the same time, works so hard in some other ways. And also thanks to my son, Max, and who would rather to be my student because I am a very patient teacher, but not a patient dad. Thanks to my family in China for their unbounded support. Thank you very much for this great honor.
Thank you, Gerald Wang. For those of you who are not familiar with me, I'm Elena Jones, the director of the Ness School of Management and Economics and the former department head of economics, to which I joined when I first got to know Gerald Wang. We are very fortunate to have faculty who are dedicated to their craft and to the success of their students. So often I interact with graduates I hear who have influenced their graduates' career or life path. Everett DuBois is one of those graduates, and with Bernie, they are recognizing the importance of dedicated faculty in their endowed professorship. With this incredible gift that will impact students in the Ness School, the college, and across campus. Before I even arrived at SDSU in fall 2012, Dr. Wang was already communicating with me about the potential to build a trading lab. He had already investigated the costs and developed a proposal. A trading lab is not a small undertaking, as it's the continuing operation and the mode of teaching that requires the biggest investment. Most importantly, it requires the passion and the energy of a champion, a highly engaged advocate to influence and prioritize the allocation of scarce resources. Dr. Wang had prior trading lab experience during his doctorate program at FIU, but more importantly, his research focus delves into the mechanics of how financial and commodity markets work. It is this immersion and knowledge that informs his teaching at every level, which energizes his interaction with students as he shares as much knowledge as they can absorb at each level of learning, whether it's in the classroom, in the Student Investment Club, or in competitions. SDSU does not currently have a finance major or even a minor, but reputation of a program that is supported by the highest quality of faculty has a reputation of a program that is supported by the highest quality of faculty has made a difference for so many graduates seeking a career path that excites them. Dr. Wang brightens the day of those students who find their passion and their future in financial and investments analysis, and particularly in the First Dakota National Bank Trading Lab, where even the quietest and the most introverted students can find their confidence and voice through this platform. It's almost serving as an avatar for them. I was fortunate to have the opportunity to meet and spend a little time with Mr. and Mrs. DuBois during their visit back to campus 2 years ago. As we finished our tour of Harding Hall at the Trading Lab, Dr. Wang's students were engaged in student-led tutorial. Mr. and Mrs. DuBois asked if they could visit with the students about their learning experiences. A few minutes turned into much longer discussion as the students opened up to this engaging and clearly interested couple and answered their questions. They can't be with us this afternoon, but you're about to meet them and hear from them now in a pre-recorded video.
Good afternoon. I'm Everett DuBois. With me today is Bernie DuBois, my spouse and partner for over 45 years. Firstly, with great regret, we would like to apologize for circumstances that prevent us from being able to make the trip to SDSU to be with you today. It's impossible to acknowledge everyone with you today, but we would like to thank President Dunn for being present today as we all honor our guest of honor, Dr. Wang, who is joined today by his family, wife Lee, and son Max. I also wish to acknowledge representation by our family as our grandnephew, Eric Newhart, and his wife, Tracy, are present today. Eric is a great example of the quality of a SDSU education as well as the availability of high-tech jobs in South Dakota. He's a 2004 state electrical engineering graduate who has worked in Brookings at Daktronics ever since interning there during his college years. Just one more housekeeping item before we move on. You may ask, as I do sometimes, how does a South Dakota farm boy from a state whose capital is Pierre end up pronouncing his name DuBois rather than DuBois? DuBois worked fine for me until we ended up on the West Coast and people kept correcting me, saying that it is pronounced DuBois. Bernie liked the pronunciation, and to avoid constant correction, we became DuBois. So I sort of regard DuBois as my married name, but I continue to be a DuBois at heart. I came to state as a freshman in the fall of 1962. A trivia fact then is that we were the first students to occupy the newly completed Matthews Hall. I was in Brookings from 1962 to 1968, earning a BS and MS in economics before going to the Twin Cities to start a 30-year career with Burlington Northern Burlington Resources. Bernie, originally from Wisconsin, and I met in '75 and married in 1976. We went on to live in St. Paul, Seattle, and Houston until retiring in 1999 and returning to Bainbridge Island, Washington. Retirement has allowed us to continue to do the things we enjoyed but didn't have time to while we were working, as well as allowing Bernie to continue to maintain an art studio to work in. Often in life, we struggle to obtain the self-confidence and self-esteem that propels us forward to a successful and rewarding life. For me, the foundation for this was provided by my years at State. The key was a faculty of professors who were not only talented, but enjoyed working with students, had great dedication and patience, and delighted in seeing their students be successful after leaving State. Herein lies the main purpose for our endowed professorship, and it can be summarized in 2 words: attract and retain. Teaching, like all professions, is a competitive marketplace today. It is important that universities have all possible tools available to attract and retain the most capable staff available. An attractive campus and a winning football team are an attraction to potential students, but the ability of State graduates to succeed when they graduate depends greatly on the quality of the educators who instructed them. We all sometimes fall victim to the false belief that one person can't make a difference. Don't tell that to the student that received a scholarship that helped him or her achieve their educational goal. Don't tell it to professors who spend extra time with a student who goes on to success and obviously credits much of his success to the professors. Hopefully, due to our leading by example, this will multiply as others, as such as some of you here today see the impact of these programs and give them your consideration. It's now time to focus on today's guest of honor, Dr. Wang. As part of this, Bernie and I would like to extend special appreciation to Rena Reynolds of SDSU, whom we met about 10 years ago, and she has patiently worked with us since then. She's like a chef. She listens to your likes, dislikes, and prepares a menu of items that you express interest in and review each with you. I'm sure she's greatly appreciated at State. In the fall of 2019, we came to State for a multi-day visit tour of the campus. We came armed with our menu items, which included a possible endowed professorship in economics. Our hope was to supplement economic theory courses with more in-depth financial analysis and real-world situations. As part of our tour, Dr. Jones gave us a tour of the Ness School of Management and Economics, a very impressive building throughout, starting with the entrance sculpture titled Connect, Interweave, Evolve. The tour included a visit to First Dakota Digital Trading Lab. We did not have the opportunity to visit with Dr. Wang, but was able to visit with several of his students working in the lab. It was clear that it was an excited group who enjoyed the real world experience. And it was also very clear that the students liked and respected Dr. Wang as their instructor and the effort he put forward. No names were mentioned as to the possible recipient of the endowment, but it appeared to us and seemed to be in the mind of others involved that Dr. Wang would be a very strong candidate. His selection for the endowed professorship, as well as becoming a full professor, are valuable steps in achieving the Ness School objectives. His tireless labor and creative solutions during the pandemic on behalf of his classes and students were a very impressive confirmation of his dedication. South Dakota is a great place, but we need to remember there's also a whole country and world out there that, when equipped with good educations, SDSU grads should have no fear exploring. I may have monopolized the conversation today, but want to make clear that our journey has been a partnership between Bernie and myself that has made our lives as pleasant and enjoyable as it has been. Also, we have worked together with SDSU and are in mutual agreement of the endowment and selection of Gerald for the award. With that, I would like to invite Bernie to make some brief comments.
Personally, I'm very grateful to Everett for his success in life, as well as to South Dakota University for providing the necessary education to make this happen. I was greatly impressed by our 2019 visit to South Dakota State University campus. I enjoyed an impressive tour of the First Dakota Digital Trading Lab, where we met some of Dr. Wang's students. I also enjoyed the tour of the art department, where I met some of the instructors and the students. It was great.
In conclusion, we again want to offer our apology for being unable to attend, but thank you all for coming today as we join you in congratulating Dr. Wang and his family for this most deserved honor.
I want to thank Everett and Bernie for their thoughtful remarks, their generosity in creating an endowed professorship, and also for their clear understanding of the transformatory power this gift will have. Everett spoke about the importance of attracting and retaining outstanding faculty to SDSU. He is absolutely correct that we are in a competitive marketplace for talent. Endowed professorships not only allow us to compete to hire the best and brightest, but they also provide those faculty with the resources they need to make a difference, to conduct cutting-edge research, and to mentor students as they pursue their own professional goals. Thank you, Everett and Bernie, for your vision and your faith in us. I want to thank everyone for joining us for this celebration in honor of Dr. Wang, and especially to thank Everett and Bernie for their virtual attendance. Zhiguang, I look forward to seeing everything you will accomplish thanks to this extraordinary opportunity that you have received as an endowed professor. I know that South Dakota State University will benefit from your work for many years to come. Thank you all for attending. Please join us for light refreshments and conversation.